Have you ever found yourself just drowning in a sea of messy spreadsheets? You're sitting there wondering, there has to be a better way to handle all this data. Well, if that sounds familiar, you are in exactly the right place. We're about to go on a little journey from that feeling of total data frustration to, well, professional mastery. And the key to it all is a language called SQL. So let's start with a really important question. When you present your analysis, are you 100% confident in those numbers? Or is there that little nagging feeling in the back of your mind that maybe, just maybe, your reports are built on some pretty shaky, unreliable data? Hey, we've all been there.
And this is probably why. Does this list look familiar? You've got your messy data, inconsistent names like Client A Inc. in one tab and Client A Incorporated in another. You've got those hidden duplicate rows that are totally wrecking your sums, broken VLOOKUPs, and of course, the constant, mind-numbing manual updates every single week. It's a daily struggle, and honestly, it just drains your time and your will to live.
But the problem here goes way beyond just being annoying. This mess, it has a real and very high cost. Because when your data is unreliable, it starts to chip away at your professional reputation.
This right here is a scary truth. Bad data isn't just an inconvenience that makes you work late, it's a trust killer. The moment a leader questions your numbers, that doubt, it just hangs in the air. It erodes their confidence not just in that one report, but in you. And just like that, this stops being a technical problem, and it becomes a career problem.
So how do we fix this? How do we get out of this mess? We move. We move from the chaos of a million individual files to a professional, centralized system. We move to SQL, which is literally designed to be the single source of truth for an entire organization.
Now, for anyone who's new to this, SQL stands for Structured Query Language. But honestly, forget the jargon. Just think of it as the universal, professional language for talking to databases. It's the tool that was built from the ground up to manage massive amounts of data with total accuracy and control.
And I mean, the difference there is just night and day. A spreadsheet starts to crawl and crash with maybe 100,000 rows. SQL? It handles hundreds of millions without breaking a sweat. Spreadsheets are like the Wild West, totally uncontrolled. SQL is centrally governed. We're moving from the low-trust world of scattered files to the high-trust world of one single source of truth.
Okay, so let's get practical. Let's look at how this actually works day to day. Because using SQL isn't just about writing a bit of code. It's about adopting a professional workflow that turns that raw, messy data into something you can consistently rely on. And it really just boils down to this simple but incredibly powerful three-step process. First, you clean the raw data. Second, you build a stable data model. That's your source of truth. And third, you query that perfect data to get insights. Clean, model, query. That's it. That's the mantra. Let's just quickly touch on step 1. In SQL, you write the rules to fix those inconsistent names or get rid of duplicates just once. That's it. Then, that logic runs automatically every single time new data comes in. You clean it once and it stays clean, forever. No more manual fixes, ever. Step 2 is all about building that solid foundation. You take all your clean data from different places and you structure it into a logical, governed model. Think of it like a blueprint for your data. This isn't just another report. This is the official, trusted data set that the entire company is going to use. And finally, we get to the payoff. With that clean, trusted data model in place, you can now ask it anything you want. This is where the real analysis happens. No more data wrangling, no more cleaning. Just pure, fast, accurate answers to the questions that actually matter. So, for example, imagine your CEO walks over and asks a pretty simple question. Hey, who are our top 10 clients by revenue? Now, in the messy spreadsheet world, that could easily take you half a day of filtering, VLOOKUPs, pivot tables, and a whole lot of double-checking. But with SQL, a simple query runs in seconds, and boom, it delivers a clean, perfect, and instantly trustworthy answer. There's no ambiguity, let me just double-check those numbers. It's just the facts. All right, let's try another one, a really common one from finance. How much overdue debt do we have, and can you break that down by region? This is a super critical question where accuracy is completely non-negotiable. An error here could have some really serious consequences. And again, you get a precise, aggregated report pulled directly from that single source of truth. You can stand behind these numbers with 100% confidence. This is what it means to operate like a professional.
So you see, learning SQL isn't just about mastering a new piece of software, it's about acquiring an analytical superpower. It fundamentally changes how you work and, more importantly, how you're perceived in your organization.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say it. For anyone in finance, data analytics, or business intelligence, SQL has become the ultimate career skill. It's the key that unlocks the door to the most interesting and high-impact roles out there.
And here's exactly why employers demand it. Professionals who know SQL can ensure governance and security, they can fully automate reports, and they can create that all-important single source of truth. So it's really no surprise that if you go look at job descriptions for data roles right now, SQL is almost always a mandatory requirement.
So that really just leaves us with a final question for you to think about. Are you going to build your career on shaky, unreliable files, always stuck in reactive mode, or are you going to be the person who builds and commands the trusted source of truth for your entire organization? The choice and the opportunity is all yours.